In this video, I want to talk about PvP in Red Dead Online and why I absolutely fucking hate it. Or at least why I did. As is common with Rockstar titles, Red Dead Redemption 2 uses an auto-aim mechanic when using ranged weapons. As it's typical of Rockstar to include this feature, no one was surprised when the game had this mechanic. But this has become one of the many reasons that I slowly grew to despise the player versus player matches on Red Dead Online. If you've ever raced on GTA 5, it's like when the host keeps catch up on. Basically, it slows down the cars at the front of the race and speeds up the cars at the back. I'll tell you what it's like. It's like the video game equivalent of communism. When you're playing with auto-aim, a lot of the traditional PvP techniques still apply, but when you're spending half of the game diving to the floor to break the auto-aim of an opponent, it's just a bit shit, really. Now, I'm not a terrible PvPer. This sort of gaming has always been the type that I lean towards the most, even way back when I was playing RuneScape in the noughties as a preteen. I was obsessed with slaying bitches in the wildy. So even with auto-aim, I'd still do relatively well in games and find myself sort of towards the top half of the leaderboard. But despite that, there were always moments of huge frustration in games with stuff like the broken cover system that would just drag you away from the wall cover that you wanted to like a 3-foot high crate out in the open. Then the general clunky, slow gameplay that just completely put me off playing Showdown series. You'd have a move in mind, press the right buttons and move the analogs the right amount, but your character would just do its own thing. And if it was slow to start with, you aim down your sights and you basically become a fucking slug with a rifle. Every millisecond counts when you're fighting another player, so slow, unresponsive controls are infuriating. But after all this time, on September the 10th, Rockstar launched the massively anticipated summer update, and with it came some big changes. Firstly, the controls are significantly more responsive now, speeding up the gameplay and making everything a lot more smooth. Also, the movement when aiming down the sights is massively quicker, with the strafing speed being boosted to the point that you no longer feel like a sitting duck when you're aiming. But the main thing for me, that until I actually played it, I didn't realise I needed in my life, is the free aim series. This PvP game mode completely does away with auto-aim, which means the way that you may have played Showdown series in the past needs to be completely reworked. The training wheels have been removed, and this game mode feels like a real test of ability. If you've got poor aim, you won't find yourself helped out by the game in the same way that PvP matches would help you with the auto-aim. However, I have noticed that despite the fact auto-aim is unavailable, my sights are noticeably slowed down when being dragged over an enemy, so aim assist is present, but it's something that you find in most games anyway. Playing games in free aim has given me back my excitement for PvP matches in Red Dead Online. I really despised it before, but now I actually find myself getting excited to get online and play. There's a load of different ways to play free aim, and I'll be making some videos on this moving forward, so subscribe if you haven't already and you're interested in seeing that sort of content. And if you haven't tried it out yet, I really recommend jumping on and giving the free aim lobbies a go. I think it will completely change the way you feel about playing online against other players. That is, if you were sort of in the same category as I was. For a video on a very quick and simple tip for gaining way more role XP, then click the thumbnail on screen now. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe for more like this in the future. I'm JmCooKie. Cheers.